Good morning, everybody. It is September 4th, 2025. I wanted to hop on really quickly before I do any other videos or messages today to talk about the American soybean market. So here it is again, September 4th, and China has still yet to book any of the new crop soybeans. And there's a lot of people that are now starting to say, hey, it looks like this might be a problem. Well, yeah, it's going to be a problem, and it's been a problem. They decided they weren't going to buy American soybeans back a long time ago, not just since the new presidency in January. They started making investments in Brazil during the first Trump administration. So the American farmer needs to be prepared. China's done. We will not be having large sales to China anymore. What we'll be having is the pickup, the slack. If Brazilian and Argentinian soybeans, corn, beef can't supply, we might get the leftover amounts now, which means that we're not going to need the same supplies that we have been producing for years. Prices will go down, input costs are continuing to go up, and we're going to need a new plan, a new strategy. Last night our president put out a Truth Social post accusing China of conspiring against the United States of America. And I get it, that's a very simple statement to make. It's the kind of statement that a 4-year-old might make. But if you want to actually be honest and understand diplomacy and strategic alliances, the United States this year has dropped the ball. So the USDA has announced that they are going to increase the payments to farmers by $30 billion. Yes, last year was $10 billion, it's now going to be $40 billion. Now, these things were available under the previous administration. They do not rely, or they do not lay solely on the Trump administration. It's just the Trump administration has exacerbated the problem. But that's a political issue, and just wanted to get in here and say that, with storage capacity increasing, the storage levels increasing, that we're going to run out of storage. So because of that, the farmers are going to have some issues with storage capacity here when it gets done with the soybean season. They're going to be using temporary storage, and people are going to have to sell and sell for less. So there's going to be some big losses this year, and it was predictable. Everybody who was paying attention knew that if we made certain choices, we would have consequences. We made those choices, and I'm sorry for the American farmer, because for most people, they don't want to think about it, but there was a direct consequence to actions that 70% of farmers took. And I don't mean that as a F around and find out type moment, but when I hear constantly people saying things like, we don't want payments, we didn't vote for payments. Well, yes, you did. And if you don't want payments, what makes you think the people that are on other forms of federal assistance want them? Because you consistently get them too. So it can't be the fact that they are getting them on a regular basis, because, again, you guys get them. 2020, you had over $60 billion. And in 19, you had, again, massive numbers of assistance from the taxpayers, period. So you need to think about that. You may not want the government assistance, but you're going to take it. And other people may not want the government assistance, but you feel they do. Maybe it's time to start rethinking how we treat each other. Thank you. You have yourself a wonderful day.